Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Slow Blink Anime channel. Today we are breaking down 10 differences from the anime Ijiranaide Nagatoro-san and its manga. Nagatoro-san is written by Nanashi and is a manga currently published by Kodansha about a young girl teasing her senpai and the relationship that forms between them. Information about where to start reading the manga after season 1 at the end of the video, and a list of adapted manga chapters in the description. This was a bit difficult information to put together, but you can see on screen that the anime did not follow any kind of chronological order for the manga chapters and even skips a few. Not only this, but the anime would adapt bonus chapters or even 4-panel comics that are in between chapters into the opening scenes before the OP plays. And we will discuss how this affected the story and upcoming differences. You can check in the description of the video for the full list of episodes to manga chapters. The anime does a great job overall of adapting the manga chapters almost panel for panel, but the first episode had a few small changes. First off, the seating setup was different in the manga, as senpai is sitting behind them and at an angle almost. This is instead of that long table and being down at the end from them. And this also makes it so when he knocks over his bag, the girls are able to go straight for his stuff that fell. In the anime, Sakura had to get up and get a book and happened to be there when his stuff fell over. This leads her to call the whole group over to see the manga that fell out of his bag. But in the manga version, Nagatoro is the first one to notice senpai's manga. Next, the girls get an added scene and dialogue as they read through this manga in the anime, and it's just a few extra lines that are thrown in there. Moving on further, the kick that Nagatoro does comes from the front and moves to the back in the anime version, almost like a hook kick but holding it out. In the manga, it comes from the back and then goes from the front like a round kick. Lastly, for this difference, Nagatoro teases him so badly in the anime that senpai falls to the floor. In the manga though, he is still standing up when Nagatoro gives him her handkerchief. Nagatoro is definitely a strong character in her universe, but the anime made her stronger than her manga counterpart. Senpai refers to Nagatoro as Kimi in the anime but says omae in the manga, which is more rude and aggressive. This ends up causing her to push him and knock him down to the ground in the manga. Though in the anime, when she pushes him, he gets knocked back so far that he goes over the railing and falls into the water. Just emphasizing how much stronger she is, but it might just be for comedic purposes too. After being forced to sit with Nagatoro and her friends at lunch, senpai pictures them looming over him and he gets nervous. In the manga, the girls are wearing a devil outfit as they look down on him, but the anime removes this in exchange for just them wearing their regular school outfits. This also applies to when Gamo and Nagatoro face off against each other there at the lunchroom table. After finding out that senpai didn't actually touch Gamo's chest, Nagatoro is relieved and starts messing with senpai again. The anime cuts a scene from the manga of Nagatoro telling senpai to pinch her arm, and after he does, she tells him that it's the same texture as a girl's chest, which causes senpai to freak out. Then the way the game starts is different in the anime. In the manga, senpai is the one that manages to buy the special Anpan, and after Nagatoro notices him feeling how soft it is, she takes it away from him and puts both her regular Anpan she bought and the special one inside of her shirt to make him choose. In the anime, she teases him by asking him if he wants to feel her chest and makes him choose between the Anpan that Gamo had and the premium one that she had bought. Next, the Anpan slips out of the top of Nagatoro's shirt in the anime, but it falls out from the bottom in the manga version. Lastly, senpai gets a lot more handsy in the anime by squeezing with both hands when he's trying to pick, but he's only using one hand to guess in the manga version. While getting Nagatoro to model for senpai, Nagatoro ends up falling asleep on the couch and senpai is able to be inspired and draw a beautiful sketch of her. Then Nagatoro wakes up and gives senpai a reward. In the anime, this happens at the end of episode 4, but the reward is senpai getting to kiss the toy that she puts in his face. This is completely different in the manga because this happens in chapter 8 and changes the dynamic of their relationship than what it is in the anime. This makes it clear to the reader that Nagatoro does have some type of romantic feelings towards senpai, but it also makes senpai's internal struggle to decide if she does like him or not even more difficult for him. And more on this in the next difference. This was another episode with quite a bit of changes. The anime adds some build up to the start of the adventure. Senpai is told that he is now in Chikibu, Nagatoro, and he is a great wizard with a skill virgin for life by Sakura, who is wearing a robe. Next, he gets sent down to the overworld from the clouds and manages to save himself with magic. Then he lands on a lizard that rushes to attack him. He tries to defend himself with his magic, but it's ineffective. Senpai doesn't have a weapon yet in the manga, so he is forced to run away. Nagatoro jumps in to save senpai and gets some different poses as she does so. Senpai starts with nothing in the manga, but he moves on to having a stick to fight with, and then eventually he gains a wizard staff while he's fighting. Next, we get a lot more visuals in the anime as they fight the dragon, but in the manga the fight only lasts one whole page, which is about 4 panels. Also, after beating the dragon in the manga, that's the last they see of it. but in the anime it turns into Gamo and an egg turns into Yoshi. The outfits they wear are from chapter 13 in the manga, where they ask Senpai to join their party, and you can see that right here on screen. Moving on, the castle has a more spooky and evil design in the anime version. It's kind of plain though in the manga version, just kind of typical. Then, since it's only Nagatoro with Senpai in the manga, it's only her that transforms into the Demon Lord, but in the anime it's all three girls that do the transformation. Senpai tries fighting back in the anime, but he just accepts his fate in the manga. Lastly, there's a line where Nagatoro teases him about falling in love with her because of the kiss she gave him on the cheek during their travels. This line has a double meaning in the manga because in the story, Nagatoro had kissed him on the cheek in real life, but we don't get the same meaning in the anime. The line shows us that Senpai is still having doubts as to whether or not Nagatoro really has feelings for him, or if it's all just to tease him. He's afraid that if he puts himself out there, that it will just end with him suffering. To wrap up, Senpai wakes up from his dream in a restaurant in the anime, but in the manga he wakes up in his bed. He then runs into Nagatoro the next day and gets flustered when she does a cat pose to greet him. We love to see Attack on Titan references in other anime, and Nagatoro is no exception. The difference here is that in the anime, the president is depicted as the Colossal Titan and looms over Senpai before she eats him. In the manga version, this was a little different. In chapter 35, the Colossal Titan is Nagatoro, and it's when they are talking about Senpai getting held back and then they become his Senpai. We also get to see Gamo and Yoshi as Titans in the same panel. Nagatoro runs out of the room as she sees what she thinks is the president modeling for Senpai. He runs after her in the manga, and as he does so, he is thinking about all of the times when he was drawing her. In the anime, he's thinking about all the important memories that have happened so far in the show, not just the drawing ones. Also, Senpai is pretty close behind Nagatoro during the whole chase in the manga, unlike in the anime. Nagatoro also takes the time to continue to stick her tongue out and taunt Senpai as she's running away in the manga. The chase continues all the way to the pool in the anime, but in the manga he chases her to a dead end into a door that won't open. Nagatoro climbs a tree when Senpai initiates the conversation in the manga, and Senpai tells her that it's dangerous, but she just starts messing around in the branches after he tells her. In the anime, this is when she's jumping on the starting blocks of the pool though. She slips into the pool in the anime but falls out of the tree in the manga version, and as she falls out of the tree she screams Senpai and he yells out Nagatoro. In the anime, Senpai catches Nagatoro's arms before she falls in the pool, and in the manga, she lands on top of Senpai because he broke her fall. In the Crunchyroll translation, Senpai tells her he wants to draw her because she's what's most attractive to him. In the manga translation I read, he says it's because she's the most stimulating for him. Listening to the Japanese audio though, the Crunchyroll translation is closer because he's pretty much saying that she's the best. Something along those lines. Nagatoro calls him gross and they both fall into the pool in the anime. In the manga, she starts hitting Senpai while still mounted on top of him. The girls from earlier see and overhear their conversation and the duo gets embarrassed. In the anime version, they get out of the pool and Nagatoro playfully splashes him after he notices her see-through shirt. This whole part with the competition includes an anime-only scene at the beginning of episode 11 of the president talking to the student council president about getting her painting approved before the festival. Then it moves to the last episode where the president is being escorted out of the art room with her painting and is on her way to the student council room. And then what happens next is the anime-only conclusion to the conflict. Senpai, Nagatoro, and Yoshi all step in to defend the president's right to have her art presented. Yoshi's video of not only the guys looking at the painting but also the serious art enthusiasts really makes an impact in the student council's decision. The president is granted permission to exhibit her painting on the condition that she has to gather a survey and create a report about it afterwards. And she also ends up thanking them for all their support. In the manga though, it's completely changed because the president doesn't fight the student council and the girls accept the win right away as she is escorted out. And the whole scenario with them defending the president doesn't happen at all in the manga. And they also take this chance to celebrate in her face afterwards. So in the manga, they just took the easy win. That's it for this video of differences, everybody. If anime ends content at chapter 46, so you can start reading at chapter 47 to continue with the main story. But a lot of it is changed or cut, so I definitely recommend starting from chapter 1. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.